Hey guys, it's Christina Marie and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're brand new. Today I am going to talk about dining on Holland America cruises, specifically open seating versus assigned seating, the advantages and disadvantages of both, as well as if you do the assigned seatings, a few tips for getting the best tables and recommendations on whether you should get the early or the late assigned seating. Okay, before going into the dining rooms on Holland America, it's good to know that there are a couple of different eating options for dinner on Holland America cruises. So you can always go up to the Lido buffet on the 9th deck, where they have dinner every night. Come and get food as you want. Then they have the assigned specialty dining rooms, like the Canaletto or the Pinnacle Grill, where you make a reservation and you pay extra to eat there. Usually it's $15 to I think $35 extra. And then there's the dining room. So the dining room is where most people go to have dinner. It is on decks 2 and 3. My recommendation is to eat at the dining room every night on Holland America cruise ships. The dining room is excellent. Okay, then it comes down to whether you should do assigned seating on Holland America cruise ships or open seating, or get a table assigned each night. I highly recommend you get an assigned seating with a set time. That means that every night at dinner, you will eat at 5:15 p.m. or 5:30 for the early seating, or the later seating is 8:15 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. The advantages of having an assigned table and assigned dining time is that there's no line. So my mom and I always do the 5:15 p.m. table. We have our set table that we sit at every single night. We have the same waiter every night, and every single night we just walk into the dining room and sit at our table. If you do open seating, in my experience, there's always a line. Like whenever I'm leaving the dining room and I see people waiting for a table, there's a long line because they have to figure out where they're gonna seat you, what seats are available, etc., etc. So I would strongly recommend having an assigned table on Holland America cruise ships, because then you don't have to make a reservation every night. You don't have to wait in a long line. Your waiter knows you, you know your table. It's just a much better, relaxing process. So that's my recommendation, have an assigned table. Okay, then it comes down to whether you should get the early table or the late table on Holland America cruise ships. I personally get really hungry early. I recommend getting the 5:15 p.m. early seating. So there's a couple of advantages of eating earlier versus later on Holland America cruise ships. One is the late dinner is at like 8:15, 8:30 p.m. So for me, that's pretty late. But it also means that you miss out on all of the nighttime entertainment. So most of the like trivia nights happen around 6:30. I guess you could still go to that. But all of the BB King rock and roll bands, those start playing at 8:15 p.m., which is one of the best things to do on Holland America cruise ships. So if you go to the 8:15 p.m. seating, you're missing out on usually the first and second sets of the live entertainment. Plus, you kind of have to only have one option for the show. You have the option of going to the 9:15 p.m. show. So it really, really limits you in options for what to do after dinner because it's so late when you end. Whereas if you do the early dining, you have so much flexibility. So if you do the 5:15 p.m. dining, usually you have a little bit of time My mom and I walk around the deck, and then you can go to the 7:30 show. And then after the 7:30 show, you can go to the 8:15 BB King or rock and roll band show, or the dueling piano bar. And then you can go to the like 8:30 show and the 9:30 show and dance the night away. Or you could relax in the room after dinner, or go to the spa and then go to the shows, and then go to the late night, like the dance show that they have. So it just gives you a lot more flexibility if you do the early dinner versus the late dinner. And as I already mentioned, go ahead and get an assigned table every night. Your waiter will know you, and you won't have to wait in a line to get a table. Okay, now for some tricks on getting the best table and an assigned table. So this happens to my mom and me almost every cruise. We do not get an assigned table. Our travel agent isn't the best, and we end up having open seating, which we hate. So the first day that you get on the cruise, like right after you have lunch, go to, it's usually on deck, I want to say it's on deck 2 near BB King. Don't quote me on that. But they have a specific place that you can go to ask to have assigned seating. So do that first thing when you board Holland America cruise ships. Go to the spot and ask them to give you an assigned table. Go there right away and ask for the early seating. My mom and I do this every time, and we've always been assigned a table. Also, what you want to do is ask where you will be seated. So my mom and I love a view. So we always ask for one of the larger tables with 6 people at the back of the dining room, right by the window. I would recommend you ask to see the seating chart, because you don't want to be in one of the tables right where everybody's walking by when they're going to their seat. You don't want to be at the very front of the dining room where everybody's walking in, walking past you. It's kind of loud. And ideally, you don't want to be like right near the food area where they serve the dishes, but honestly, that's not a big deal. But you ideally want to be like in the corners by the window. If they don't have the large back windows open, the side windows are really nice too. We sat there on our last cruise ship, and it was really quiet and pleasant. So that's it. In summary, when you are on a Holland America cruise ship, I highly recommend you get the assigned seating. I highly recommend you get the early seating. And I recommend you get a table for like 4 or 6. Usually that's a good experience for my mom and me. Last cruise, we didn't have the best dining partners, but we asked to switch tables, and then we were with an awesome group of people every night. If you thought this video was helpful, please click the subscribe button below. And if you have questions about Holland America cruises, leave a comment below as well. I cruise all the time on Holland America with my mom. Thanks, guys.